Ciao everybody, welcome to my channel and my either very late video recap or very early video recap, because I'm going to do August and September all in this video. So I'm going to try to go really quickly because I am behind in doing this again, and I did not put my camera down to show you everything that's on my mat. It would overwhelm you. I've made a lot of jewelry in the last 2 months and it's been such a rough couple of months. So many of you that are returning to my channel, you know that I have a son with a pretty serious health issue, and we've been in the hospital again and traveling back and forth to the research hospital 2.5 hours away. And I get a hotel room, I get a suite that I've been doing for about 15 years when we have back-to-back medical appointments. And on this trip, you guys, have you ever stayed in a hotel where you checked in, set everything up? I bring my son's bed, his hydraulic lift, his wheelchair, his transfer boards, all of his bedding. You know, it just makes it easier. But we set everything up, we went to dinner, and when we came back from dinner, the room was flooded. There was water pouring from the ceiling. Something was going on in the suite above us. And that is indicative of what the last couple of months have been like. And so all through August, I did a lot of live streams with the Jesse James Bead Summer Camp event. And I'm so excited to say that I've been invited back to be a teacher for the winter workshop, which is coming up in November. My project is already designed. The sample is made, and I'm so excited about it. Honestly, it's, I think, a year-round design, but it's really made to like dress up a plain sweater or a long sleeve shirt. And I'm going to teach like a bunch of alternatives in that class. So if you're interested in that, reserve your spot and get your, get your kit, get your supplies coming to you. There are some amazing other projects in the winter workshop as well besides mine, but I'm excited that I was invited back. So also this month, if you guys take the time to read comments, you probably feel that you know Peggy Bush just as well as I do. She is such a sweet person, and her husband Fred as well. And I've come to know them through my channel, and so grateful for her constant support. There's actually quite a few of you that would just never miss a video or a comment. But she's been cleaning out her beading room and sharing some things with me. So I'm gonna put a little clip of a video. She sent me this beautiful, beautiful card, and I have her handwriting inside, and it's just so sweet. And one of her sentiments, which I feel for her and so many of you, is I wish we lived closer, or that you were in my neighborhood so we could, do our beading and go for coffee and meet up for lunch and do bead shows and things. So let me pause my chat and my try on and put a little video of what she shared with me. This is such an amazing gift. I love everything. I can't even tell you how much I love it, but Peggy put in this card for me, and inside she said that she wished that we lived closer so we could go for coffee and beading, and I have her handwriting. It's so sweet. And then these are like all the extra bags, but she even took the time to put a little handwritten note literally in every bag. What a gift, Peggy. I just can't thank you enough. So I just wanted to show you some of the things. These are acrylic flowers, and they're so amazing. She got these from a Sam's Bead Shop live event. She put a little note in these Tila beads. She said that she was going to do a bracelet with this little mix, and she knew she never would. And then she was so cute. One of her notes said, "I don't know how you missed these. These are from Amazon." Well, Peggy, I did not miss these. I actually have ordered these, but I haven't shown them yet. And so now I have a double order because she sent me what she had purchased. These are little gold flower stamens. They do not have a hole in them, so you have to glue them like on the inside of a flower, or anything. Really, anything that you want to add a little personality to. I was looking for something with a big enough hole, but those are so cool. There are lampwork flowers in here. There are porcelain barrel beads. I absolutely love those. But you guys, there are some amazingly special things in this box in her gift to me. Look at these little filigree bells, and they even have the little bell chime, and there is a ton of them. So the first thing I think I have to do is make a pair of threader earrings with little bells on the end. But there are these things I have not seen. You know, it's hard to see everything because there are so many beads out in the world and from so many countries. And at first when I looked at these, I thought these were mermaid glass. Not mermaid glass, unicorn glass I meant to say. But look at this little pink drop. It's so cool. And there was quite a few of those. Lampwork hearts. She put in 2 of these charms, which I absolutely love. The little dried flowers are encased in resin and framed in gold. And I absolutely love, love, love these rondelles. This is such a beautiful mix. And I have a project coming up where I'm going to actually need the lime green and even this turquoise color. And there's just, like I said, some amazing things in here. She put a note in with these pearl chip beads and said she didn't know if I had them. No, Peggy, I do not have any chip pearl beads. And she shared half of her strand with me. And and what was so cool about all of her little notes is it was like shopping with a friend, because she said, you know, like it was like what you would say if you were out together buying beads. She said, can't believe you missed these. They're from Amazon. That was in with the little flower stamens. And then she said, there's lots in here and these are from Temu, but aren't they so adorable? That was, what was that? She put this little note, in here. It was for these. These are the teeny tiniest little pearls, and she gave me the whole strand. These are like 2 to 3 millimeter little Baroque pearls or seed pearls, but aren't they absolutely gorgeous? And like I say, she took the time to write a little note saying what she was thinking about each of the beads that she put in her gift. And I just have to show you guys. Let me pick up a couple of these chips. This is 20 gauge wire, and pearls have notoriously small holes, so that's not going to work. But a few of the chips were off the strand, and just to show you, like these gorgeous pearl chips, oh my gosh, I don't even know what to say. Thank you does not seem to do it. Now these are beam beads, and I had received some beam beads in the Adornable Elements bead box a couple months back, and her little note said, you seem so excited about these, like you'd never seen them before. I just don't have any in my stash. I have seen them, but you know, like I said, there's so many beads, and I don't have a pattern with the beam beads, like, you know, where I've done any bead weaving with it. But they were black, the ones that I received that I was so excited about. But these are my favorite colors. It's like this mauvey pink and gold and this kind of china blue. So these were from a company called Red Panda Beads, but she shared these with me. And then look at these gorgeous embossed pink cubes. I literally cannot wait to do a herringbone wrap on a couple of these, and I don't know what I'll make, a bracelet, earrings. There's enough here to do that and link them all together and make a stunning bracelet. And then these are tiny little teacup beads, and it's this beautiful pink, green, blue, red, and like metallic mix. There's 4 grams here, and it's a check glass teacup bead. And over here, she sent me some larger ones, and these have 2 holes. These have only 1 hole, and there's lamp work in here. And her little note on this said that somebody else in the community shared this bead with me in a larger size, and she said, so I'm sending you the small ones. And she was even, I know she pays attention, because she said this is for rings. And she said, what else? These I could make rings out of. Her little note said, these are perfect for your rings, because if you've been on my channel before, you know that I love to take my scraps of my 49 strand bead stringing wire and make ring components to use in designs. And she said, these are for your rings. And look at that. In Joey Land, that is the most perfect color mix. You know, it's purple, pink, and gold. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that for me. And like, this is like would make rings like on steroids, because that's a little tiny fluted check glass bead, and I am losing them and it's making me upset. Let me gather these up. I don't want to lose a single one. They're just too precious. And there's more. There's lampwork hearts. Let me put these away and I'll show you the what's in the package that I didn't open. Make sure I get all of them. Put her little, I want to put her little note inside here so that I don't forget. It was like, really, when I opened this, it was like shopping with a friend. And then she gave me a whole bag of these gorgeous lampwork hearts. And look at these amazing flowers. I love those. There's more of these little acrylic tulips, and then she thought she was ordering something that looked similar to what she'd seen on Dee Dee Beads, and so there's quite a few of these. They're really heavy. Whoops, I can't hold on to anything. I'm excited about this. This was like, it was an unbelievable, like, to get this box. I just had so much fun opening it. But she even said you can do whatever you want with these. You can give these away if you want to. And the amazing thing was, I'm pulling all these beads out of the box and reading her all of her notes, and at the very bottom of this box was this gorgeous dish for beads. It's absolutely beautiful, and it's totally my style. And on top of that, she had it wrapped in white paper, and it was tied with a pink bow, like a pink satin bow. I wanted to save it to share with you guys, but you know, I could not help myself. I had to pull that open and see what was in there. So my heart is so full, and I just have to thank Peggy so much. What an amazing gift. Peggy has shared with me for the better part of the past year. She's been redoing her bead room, and she's sent me pictures of what she's doing and updated me on like what she's gotten rid of and what she's going to keep, and like where she is in life at this time and the time she's spending with her sweet husband. And she is just a lovely, wonderful member of this community, and she represents so much of the beauty that is gathered here in this very small but very sweet community. So I just had to share this with all of you. So yeah, what a gift, right? I mean, it's just amazing. And I could see that not only does she listen to like every word that I say by what she sent me, but also we think alike, because you saw a couple of the things. I was like, oh, I bought this too. So that was really fun. Okay, so the August video recap, I'm going to do the necklaces first. I did this necklace with Sam's Bead Box, and this was all cultured beach glass, but there was a slice of a shell in this box, and I did the most simple little peyote stitch, kind of a bail, and just put it inside my shell before I zipped it up. And there was a little hole in the shell, so I added an extra little dangle, a fun technique with a decorative head pin. And so that is just such a cool way to add more texture. I mean, it's already textural. This necklace even has a little seashell charm hanging from, you know, a little bit of an unexpected place. But that's a cool idea, and you don't have to be like an expert bead weaver to do a tiny little strip of peyote stitch, and I did step by step. So you could see how to do that. And also with that box, I did something I think is really cool. I did a pendant. There were two of these shells in the box. Was there two? Or did I have one? I had one of these in my own stash as well. Now I can't remember if I used my own. But what I did on the pendants for here is made these, can't get my finger out of the way. I made these little interchangeable sort of hooks. And so let me pull the necklace in and show you. This is the necklace, has a spot, and my pendants all are interchangeable. And so in that video, I showed you how to do that little inside loop to kind of keep things in place, but you can take the pendants off and switch them out. So if you want a longer one, if you want, you know, something a little bit more dramatic. Anyway, that is really fun. And I did the necklace with the seed beads and sea glass in the box, and it's just gorgeous, interchangeable. And of course, what a fabulous gift, because you could do this nice base necklace with a ring here and make several pendants, and even go into like gold or silver and something that's not even seasonal or oceanic. Although where I live, this is, you know, this is year-round jewelry. So I just loved the quality of Sam's bead box. And for those of you that are new here that haven't seen my monthly very late, always very late, but I'm going with that this month I'm early for September because September's not over yet. But as I show you the pieces, and this is going to be a very edited, scaled down recap, there's no way that, since I've gotten so behind, and part of it was all the live streams that I did. Jesse James Beads event, that took a lot of time out of my schedule, my schedule's already pretty busy. So that was part of what got me behind. I wasn't slacking, I was working. But I also, speaking of Jesse James Beads, this was a really cool video. I based it on this awesome chain and this beautiful bead mix called Illuminating, and there's a really fun technique for additionally embellishing beads, especially these faceted ones. Let me pull the necklace up, and like, this video is packed with techniques: how to use chain to make a pendant, how to work with the facets on a crystal and embellish with elements from the chain, the floating bead method, flat crimping. Like, this was just such a fun project, and lots of techniques to just go from one to the other. And I think I did earrings too, but I don't see them here. But anyway, a bracelet to match, and this is the most stunning chain from Jesse James Beads. So I'll put a link to that if you didn't see that. And then I did quite a few necklaces this in August that are these add-in sections. So let me back my chair up and kind of show you. This is like a little add-in section. And for those of you that are returning to my channel, you recognize the loopy situation and like a really stunning, I played with filigree on this. But the reason that I do that, and I have them here, I have these base necklaces that I've created for my own jewelry wardrobe. And so what they look like is my favorite metallic chain, and no clasp in the back, but rather 2 lobster claws in the front. And I choose decorative ones. And then as I make my necklaces, I don't need to bead or design the entire necklace length, but rather just a little section that can add in, and I just unclip the lobster claw clasp and add in my next section. So this was actually my second video with the Bargain Bead Box sweater weather box, and it is so gorgeous. I did another version of my famous spiral beads that I love to do, and my very simplified herringbone wrap, and just created these very sparkly components. And in that video, I also did this gorgeous bracelet. In fact, I might even wear that today. I'm wearing black and jeans, black and denim today, so I might even pop that on. But I have like some thinner base necklaces where my chain is thinner, and I have shorter and longer. So as I make my add-in sections, you know, I can go into my jewelry wardrobe and choose what I'm going to, you know, what base I'm going to add into. So this was just a really gorgeous thing, also from the Jesse James Beads Magical Mystery Bead Box. And then I also did another add-in section in October that looks like this crazy thing. Oh, this is caught on a bracelet. So again, my 2 loops, let me get my fingers out of the way, my 2 end caps with loops, and this is like a floating beaded ring add-on section. And in this video, I showed you guys how to do this textile wrapping, and I did all of these gorgeous, colorful bracelets embellished in so many ways. And in this video, also making your own closures, you're making your own T-bar, your own, you know, toggle, your own handmade toggle. and added in some little lampwork fishies and some components, and it is just mixed media with textile and metal and a little bit of seed beading, and just really fun. And it was about an hour long video, but look at these, you guys, using the textile wrapping method to make these really stunning tassels. So you can use these to hang on necklaces or keychains or bookmarkers. I mean, if you like bold earrings, that would be a great earring too. So that was just one of my, oops, I dropped my tassel, one of my funnest, is that a word, funnest? One of my most fun videos. And then I love to do, like I said, not full necklaces. So I've been diving into some bead weaving videos. It's something I hesitated to do because there are so many channels that do different bead weaving methods. But I feel like even though I have a lot of experience with it, I'm not a professional or anything, but I do have experience, but I feel like that even I get lost on some of the channels that there's only music playing. And I felt like, well, I'm gonna dive into some of my ideas with bead weaving. So I've done some peyote stitch rings, some little beaded bead caps, compiled them into a pendant. This was a really cool video, how to cage a bead and turn it into a pendant. And I did a couple of versions of that because you can literally choose any bead. This is like a 14 millimeter, I think it might be 16, I can't remember now, but a check glass faceted round that's on the inside. And Gem Duos make the bead caps and the caging on this with a little bell, which you see Peggy, I was part of Peggy's gift to me, and I just was dying over those little bells. And actually I think that I found these, I think I did. If I can link the little bells for you guys, I will. But these are so easy. These are truly beginner friendly. And then you guys, if you would see my mat, oh, one more necklace, well, two more necklaces. I get 2 boxes every month directly from the Czech Republic. The company is called Craftika, and they do one box that is called Czech Beads Exclusive. And I believe this was the Czech Beads Exclusive. I sometimes, by the time I do my recap, I forget which was which, but the other one is called Bohem Style. Bohem Style is a DIY jewelry kit with everything that you need and a code to a video tutorial for making 2 pieces of jewelry. And then the Czech Beads Exclusive is a box of curated, but like a sampler of all kinds of Czech glass. And actually, I think this was the Bohem Style for this month because I remember the blue cord that came with it. And so I don't usually do the projects that are mapped out for that box. I usually do my own thing. And look at this cool necklace. It's so pretty, and it's so like fringy, and like, I don't know, I looked at this as very cool, chic resort wear. It had like a nautical theme with anchors and shells and things like that. And I did a pair of gorgeous earrings with a little anchor and all-in-one. So I'm really loving, I really love to do the all-in-one earring. And I even have a video that, and let's see, this was in September, so I'll kind of show you, but I did all kinds of minimalist, I love stick earrings, and I've done quite a few versions of those, and a whole bunch of different, very easy ways to make your own ear wires. So that is coming, I'll show you those, but look how wonderful these earrings are. They really showcase the Czech glass, and they are so easy to take in and out of your ears because you don't have an earring back, you don't have a, any kind of a spring or lever back. And also they hang just perfectly in your piercing. So that is one of my favorite ways to make earrings. And those of you that are on my channel regularly, you know that you see that quite a lot. And speaking of that, I did a couple of pendants and necklaces with the other Jessie James Magical Mystery Bead Box, and just kind of combined all the skills of a herringbone wrap, crystal, simple loops, a dangle, and an all-in-one ear wire. So my wire that was left over from my herringbone wrap becomes the ear wire. And same thing, these slip in and out of your piercings so easily. They're just so pretty and easy to make, easy to take in and out. And you know, I'm lucky I don't have metal allergies, but I do use craft wire with an anti-tarnish coating, so that helps. All my wrapping and everything will not tarnish. But I have mentioned before that if you love this idea and you do have metal allergies, you can buy gold filled craft wire, and I use that sometimes. So I can put a link for the gold filled if you need that, because obviously it's more expensive, but you don't need that much, because I mean, look, it's an earring, you know, you can do an ear wire with just a tiny little piece of it. So it's the perfect use for investing in some gold, you know, in some gold filled. So with that box, I did this adorable pendant. I love, love, love to make pendants, and I made a fabric bead in this video as well. And I'm going to talk to you about beads because, oh my goodness, I'm in the bead making mode. And I have done some beads that are made from hardware, literally hardware, some felt beads with embroidery stitches on them, some chintz and calico little wrapped wooden beads. I do boho beads, I do paper beads, and I have started making some videos in kind of the categories of supplies that you would use for beads. And so also with that box, and that reminded me because there were denim roses in this magical mystery bead box. So to go along with my earrings, I did a little drop that kind of matches the earrings that attaches to the denim rose. And then this is a beautiful lariat Y necklace. It's not a lariat, it's a Y necklace. I did another one that is a lariat, but it has the clasp in the back. And at the Y intersection, I did another really cool technique for embellishing a bead and using a bead cap and the herringbone. So like really cool techniques. You can completely change the look of your beads with that. Okay, and then I did a couple of special videos with Sam's Bead Box in August. They have a supply of past Sam's Bead Boxes, and it was a great opportunity to get a discount and just buy a one-off, not committing to a monthly bead subscription. And so I picked this beautiful amethyst allure box. This necklace is so gorgeous. Even these silky tassels were on the end of a strand of gemstones in this box. I actually can't believe that they have any of these left over, unless they just made an extra quantity of them. But it was packed with check glass and amethyst rondelles, and just packed. I mean, you can see some of the things that I used, some of the amethyst that I used in this necklace. And so just a really gorgeous video with a special discount code if you wanted to get this box. Normally when you just buy a one-off box and you're not a subscriber, it's quite a bit more costly to get one of their boxes. But in this case, they were running a special, and I do not know, I did not check to see if there were any left as of this recap video, but you can always check, and I'll put a link to this video like I always do, and then in the description box you will find all those links. And then there was another beautiful box from Sam's, and I wasn't gonna like try on all these necklaces, to be honest, just because of the time factor, but they do such an amazing job. They had an ancient Egypt themed box as well, and I just love the brass that they put in it. And so this video has like cylindrical beads in it, check glass teardrops, this gorgeous brass mixed with turquoise and denim, and this amber colored like golden. I just loved this box, and I could not stop designing with it. So that was one of the things from that box. And let's see, I did a bunch of bracelets with that box, but they are not here on my work table because I wanted to expedite my video recap. But with the amethyst box, I did some beautiful, beautiful earrings. I've already taken my other earring out. I love stick earrings, and I love these downward kind of minimalist earrings. So I showed you guys how to get this type of earring with your artisan squiggles exactly the same for the 2 ears. This was my favorite pair in that video, but there was also those beautiful check glass melon beads in the amethyst allure box. So I did those, and there's some really cool wire wrapping techniques in that video. And this was another favorite of mine. I love the elegance of gold and white, and there were Saturn little Saturn beads, or little spaceship beads I call them, and I just added in a tiny bit of chain. This is my favorite, like my go-to style of earring. And you know, even in the winter, like this is so pretty with summer linens and white t-shirts, but as we go into the winter, it goes so great with snowflakes and winter whites, you know, like it's just my favorite type of an earring. And in this video, I even showed you guys how to make this cool, like coiled head pin, and even how to sort of turn your leftover wire into the look of a bead cap on your beads. So that earring video was just really, really a fun one. I'm gonna leave this earring off because I love glass rings. I love rings of all kinds. You guys probably, you know that you've noticed that I do a lot of beaded rings and all kinds of rings. So I just used, this was also from the summer shoreline stroll, I think it was called, the Sam's bead box, but I added in some glass rings and made my own ear wires, and I just love this linear look, but the geometry of rings and cones, and I just love this whole box. And I also did another, like a little bit more fun with a flower and just like connecting the rings. It's just so fun to play with them. And I think those were all in one video. This is also, I think these were all in one video. This is also a technique, be still. This is also a really cool and easy technique for embellishing like a line of beads with wire. And that's just a really, really pretty earring. And then I had some things left over from Dee Dee Beads, and I just did a little mix of leather and chain and a bead and metal, and it's just so cool. And these are so lightweight. These weigh nothing because of that tiny little piece of leather, but all the dangle, and just a really cool technique for hiding your cut leather ends in that. So that was that video. And you guys, I just had to try on my jellyfish earrings for you. This was an end of summer jewelry making, and I am going to get to go to a resort at the end of this summer, well actually in the fall, and I'm bringing these jellyfish earrings with me. It's going to be on the beach, and I'm doing something with my son, and I'm bringing these jellyfish earrings with me, so I just had to show you those. And then I also, I think in that same, oh gosh, now I can't remember, but I think it was in that same video, one of the things I purchased this summer was these cloisonne beads. And Jesse James Beads has this wonderful section of their website called Fab Finds, and I loved these little large hole floral square beads. And so I mixed in my cloisonne donuts that I bought and some of those Fab Finds and did this little bracelet and earring set. I don't always wear a necklace because for me it's not the most comfortable, but it is rare for me to not have on a bracelet and earrings. So this is like in Joey land, this is like the sweetest set, and pink, you know, pink and gold. So you can't go wrong. So I think that was in that video as well. And then, like I said, I made a lot of earrings this past couple of months, but I was playing in my antique button stash. And again, even with buttons, you can do your all-in-one ear wire and no head pin. I did this all with craft wire. So these are super inexpensive. If you have vintage buttons or colorful plastic or acrylic buttons, these are so fun to make. And there are all these different versions. I did this one with where I added a drop to my spiral, and I use these mother of pearl ones that are very, very, very old. I won the bid at an auction for a big box of buttons, but these are so cute. And you can do this same technique with pretty much any button, even if you want to make them more chic, like black check glass buttons, or, you know, metal buttons like brass buttons. You can do these techniques. I just happen to have a ton of these mother of pearl ones. So that was a really fun video that happened in August. And let's see, what else? I am going to, since I alluded to the beads, I'm going to jump to the beads that I've been making. So I did one quick little fabric bead. The video that I'm working on has a whole nother technique for covering beads with calico or chintz. And so one of my favorite videos that I think I've ever done is using my felt balls to make these gorgeous embellished artisan beads. And in this video, I showed you how to string these and how to get your embellishments centered on the felt ball. And this was from the Dee Dee's Deluxe bead box called Vivid Orchids. And this particular necklace converts from a necklace like you can do with this. I am going to back up and show you this one. You can do with this anything you would really do with a scarf. You can just loop it over. Let me get my chair out of the way. You can loop it over like that, and you have these beautiful things to play with. This can go around your waist as like a little belt. It's long enough to double it around your neck. And like I said, if you like to wear this like a scarf, you can make your loop here and put this around your neck and then pull your beaded ends through that loop. And then that will give you like a little bit shorter, you know, tassel-y necklace. I mean, this is just such a fun piece. And I might do another one of these and make it even longer. You guys know how much I love my long necklaces because more styling options. But you can really just treat this as a scarf. And like I say, it makes a great belt. You can put this around your waist as a belt. But I have another video coming on different techniques for embellishing the felt balls. Some really cool ones. I have so many ideas for making these, and these are not really expensive. And I've heard from so many of you that you already have a ton of these. And you know, a few months back, I did beaded beads over these felt balls, and I know a lot of you love that project, and I know that a lot of you bought felt balls to do that, and you probably have some left over. So there's more video ideas coming for using those up. And then I can't show you these on camera very well, but I have gone into my garage and to the hardware store and purchased some washers, some nuts, some ferrites and ferros. Don't ask me what the hardware is, but I have this bolts to beads video where I show you guys how to get these gorgeous beads with hardware and any kind of cord or sari silk or ribbon, you know, anything. I found this t-shirt ribbon, and these are the most stunning beads. This was such a great video, and like I said, more bead videos coming. Okay, I am going to leave the August things behind. I did not get everything in that I made in August, but I am going to leave it behind, and I am going to jump into September. Let me just grab my during summer transition into fall with Jesse James Hold on. Beads. I actually was able to do quite a few of the classes and get them done this year. My schedule doesn't always permit me to watch a lot of YouTube, but I made time for this. And Gem Hawks, this is one of her specialties, is making these little beaded trees. And I did her class and I loved it. But of course, if you guys that know me, you know that I couldn't just leave it at this. I learned a lot from her. She is a wire artist and much more graceful with wire than I am. But I always say I get the job done. And so I decided to do an autumn tree with check glass leaves and hang a little owl charm and hang some little acorns and leaf charms in my tree. And I just love the way that it turned out. And as I was working on this, I was thinking in the spring, some little check glass bellflowers would make a beautiful blooming spring tree. And I make little wire bird nests, and I've done a couple videos on bracelets and necklaces with those, but wouldn't it be cute to put a little wire bird nest with some eggs in the bird nest for a spring tree? So there might be another video coming with this, but that was such a fun video. And then we got our bargain bead box that jumps right into the autumn, called Sweater Weather. And look at this bracelet. I love the beads in the glass flower beads. And I just turned one of mine into a button for this stunning bracelet. I actually like the closure side to be up because it's so pretty. And I did a couple of pairs of earrings in that video as well. Again, my all-in-one, just, you know, featuring the beads and turning the leftover wire right into the ear wire. It just works so great. So again, with my Craftica boxes, I have done this really cool bracelet. It kind of looks like a ladder. It's really cool, contemporary. I love the negative space, and what an amazing color combination that they did. And I'm also crazy about the earrings that I did with this box, because again, my favorite things, it's a stick earring with you know, a ring, a stick earring. I love olive beads, and I love the all-in-one. Like I say, you can see that for me, this is just so easy to take these in and out of my ears. I just love them. And then let's see, the earrings that I've been wearing, my little chain earrings, were part of a video where I used the dollar bead box and bag to do all these cool earrings. And these are the most amazing. This is one of my favorite designs. These are seed bead earrings. Oh, I'm sorry, this is not, I did another earring video with the dollar bead box and bag. This is with my Adornable Elements seed beads of the month club. And this is just, these were in there because I used a lot of seed beads to add into the dollar bead video as well. But look how cool this little stick minimalist earring is. And again, the wire for the beading goes in your piercing, and they're just like everyday minimalist, very chic. I think they're so elegant, and I did them with seed beads, of course, but you could go up to like 4mm check glass faceted rounds. You could, you know, make this style even bigger. They just are so sweet as a really tiny earring. So I love those. And I've done using multi-strand connectors. I've done some little mini chandelier earrings in that video. And then these are so cool. These are like a cantilever earring design where you actually do your beading and run it right through your ear wire. And then they look like they're kind of floating in the middle. It looks kind of like a teeter-totter, but these are so fun. And again, it's kind of like a minimalist chandelier type earring. And speaking of chandelier earrings, I did these with the dollar bead box and bag, and they are like a little chandelier earring, but just super easy, and how glamorous. And they're so easy to make and not expensive. A few check glass rounds and some craft wire, and just absolutely gorgeous. And then I really have been making my own ear wires. And so I was crazy about the design challenge kit from Soft Flex Company. It was called, oh, am I going to mess it up? Wicked Brew, I think it was called. Yeah, Wicked Brew, I think it was called. And there were some ginkgo 2-hole beads in there. And it was like this, looked like the Wicked Witch of the West and Glinda the Good Witch of the East combined with the greens and pinks. So I did a teeny tiny little amount of bead weaving, made my own ear wires again, and these weigh nothing. Again, they're lightweight and comfortable to wear. But I also did a little, I don't know if she is a fairy or an elf. I mean, I know it's supposed to be a witch's hat and a little magic wand, but it's so cute. It's too cute to be a witch. stitch. So this is like the sweetest little charm, and this charm did not have a hole, so I had to get creative on keeping the hat on my little person, and then I'll put a jump ring through here, and this can be a bookmarker or a little pendant or anything. But I also took the components that I you know, the bead woven components that I designed, and made a component bracelet as well. And isn't the pink and green just so pretty? I mean, it's just it was such a lovely box, and so unexpected as we go into October, you know, September, October. I just really loved it. And I had another really fun earring video, and again, some techniques for different ways to make your own ear wires, and kind of mixing a little bit of needle and thread with a little bit of wire working, and minimalist, you know, versions of the minimalist stick earring. I love all the loopiness on this one. I just, this is my style, but I like to change it up and do different versions of it. So look how fun that is. I mean, to me, I can just be wearing a t-shirt and that earring, and I look dressed up and fixed. So I did notice something, because I did another loopy earring version, and I noticed I'm very dyslexic, and working under the camera is sometimes really difficult. It stops me from actually seeing what I'm doing because there's a camera between my eyes and my hands. So I was literally editing this video, and I realized that I reversed 2 of my discs. And so I will either redo this or just put these in my tassel box and use these as tassels, you know, for separate projects. And then I just had to show you guys this, because this is ever so tiny amount of peyote stitch to make this cool little earring finding, like a little bail. And I love the negative space in this. Big, and I love that they are, but at the same time they're light, and like, I don't normally wear really big earrings, but I love these, and I am totally going to keep these and wear these. I thought they were just amazing, and I had to share those with you. And then I bought some things at the Orlando Bead Show from one of my favorite lampwork artists, and I shared the bead show with you, did like a little overview of it, and at the end I had all my beads on my mat and I couldn't help myself. I said, let me go ahead and make my earrings, because I really bought these lampwork beads with earrings in mind. So I showed you guys how I had decided to put those together in that video. And then Sam and Rachel did a commemorative celebration of life video for somebody that I was actually personally friends with. And many of you, if not all of you, know who Wendy Whitman was, but they had started a beadbox collaboration with her right before she passed away, and it was you know, her ideas for a bead box, and it was called Wendy's Safari. And so I've done quite a few things with that box. This beautiful elephant bracelet was one, and Wendy and I had in common that we both love giraffes. So I have this really cool giraffe safari, very eclectic. My giraffe is even eating leaves on this bracelet. It's a 2-hole bracelet and a 2-strand bracelet with a really unique closure, and it is just interesting all the way around. So if you didn't see this video, I'll put a link for that. And I also did a really cool technique with stretch cord, turning the 2 giraffe charms that were stamped and embossed into a bracelet bar, and how to actually add those on to stretch cord. And this is the cutest giraffe, kind of giraffe safari bracelet with some turquoise mixed in it, and just a really fun video. So I have gone super fast. I'm just going to show you really quickly a few of the necklaces also, but I have gone really fast because I did not want this to be an overly long video, and trying to do my video recap for 2 months worth of projects. But I am just going to show you like one of the necklaces that pops over my head that I made with my handmade beads. So in the bolts to beads video, I actually made 2 necklaces after I made all those beads, and this was one of them. And this was the other one. If I can get it out of my gangle of necklaces here. This was the other one. It doesn't look very good holding it like that. Let me set these aside. This was the other one. And this was the Potomac Treasure Box. Those really bold earrings that I just had on with the big circles, that was called Ocean Vault. And this necklace also came out of that box. Just this amazing pendant with a little bit of needle and thread work, a little bit of wire work, adding in some chain, another beautiful long necklace that can just pop over my head, and so denim friendly with the cobalt blue and the turquoise and the gold. And I have to show you also with the Wendy Safari box. This was a gift from one of our dear viewers that's part of this community. She sent me these wonderful bamboo tube beads, and they were absolutely perfect for one of the bead strands in Sam's bead box commemorating Wendy. And this is also a pop over my head necklace, and it's so autumnal. You know, it was in a safari box, and I did add in some African beads, but it's all the wonderful colors of autumn. And then I also did, this is why I said lariat, because I also did this amazing lariat necklace with Dee Dee's Deluxe Bead Box, the Vivid Orchid bead box. And there's some cool techniques in this video as well with, you know, making your own heart head pin and that kind of thing. I am rushing off to more medical appointments today with my son. That is my life. It's never ending. And I just really didn't want to get any further behind. So I decided, instead of not doing my recap video, that I would just expedite it and get it done really quickly. And so I hope that you guys will subscribe to my channel. And I know from reading the comments that so many of you watch my videos on your television, and that means that you can't comment and you can't give a thumbs up to the video when you're watching on the television. And I love it that you are watching that way, because you can really see what I'm doing and, you know, hopefully be able to do it yourself, or, you know, get inspired a little bit better. But if you get a chance on your device after you're done watching to go back and do a thumbs up, it really helps support my work. And there is a new YouTube update to the algorithm where you will see the opportunity to hype videos. And if you would do that, it is so helpful. It signals to the YouTube algorithm that there's quality content here, you know, because no matter how much you are great at design, no matter how hard you work on keeping the quality of your channel, no matter how great a video is, if the YouTube algorithm is not on your side and is not sharing those, you know, sharing that in people's home feeds, no one will see how hard you've worked. So if you get a chance to do that, it would be greatly appreciated. It's the best way to support my work. It doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't like do anything to your own YouTube account. It just tells YouTube, hey, this is a good channel, show it to more people. So I'd really appreciate if you do that. And I thank you all so much for watching. Thank you to Peggy for such a beautiful, sweet gift. I'm so grateful to see that, you know, people feel like they've become friends with me. And, you know, in my beading group, we share what we get quite freely. And it is just so lovely to see that extended out to everybody who's out there, no matter where you are. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you're all safe and well, and as excited as I am to go into the fall to start a new season. Oh my goodness, this summer has been so rough on me. There's been so much, including a flood in a hotel room. So yeah, I'm excited about the fall and the fall projects. And go to Jesse James Beads and join us for winter workshop. That would be great. I hope to see you there. Take care, everybody. See you in the next video.